Like, I will forever be thinking about that scene. Like, as the kids would say, it's my Roman Empire. Hey everyone, Andrew here, Super Fit Cosplay, and today I'm going to talk a little bit about the Superman and Lois finale. I watched it last night. What an incredible journey we've had throughout this show. So if you want to see my live react, you can become a member of my channel. It starts at $2.99 a month. So basically I live streamed my entire watching of the full episode last night. So that's in my members only area. If you want to check that out, I had some wine, I had some cheese, had a bit of a chat with the people who tuned in. So thank you so much if you were one of the people that tuned in. It was my first public live that I will keep to the public. Will of course go when I reach 5,000 followers. So, like, could we help me do that? That'd be cool. That'd be great if I could do 5,000 subscribers by the time the Superman 2025 trailer comes out, directed by James Gunn, starring David Corn Sweat. So, okay, you're here about the Superman and Lois finale. So, okay, so I watched it last night. Now, my history with this show, I've loved it. Like, I really have. I think I have a bit of a tumultuous relationship with the CW's DC properties. Like, it all started for me, obviously, with Smallville, which is iconic. And also ironic that it started with Smallville and it ended in Smallville. So, I loved the Smallville television series. I think it was really well done. I think there were a couple of episodes throughout that were just like, could take it or leave it. But overall, I loved it. I loved the Smallville show. The finale of that show always makes me cry. Just because you go on a journey with these characters, and I thought it was really well done. Arrow, I loved. Again, there were some episodes in there that, toward the end of the show, like it all got a bit much. A lot of stuff was happening, and that was kind of like the trend for DC, like Legends of Tomorrow, The Flash, Arrow, Supergirl. There were just things that started happening in each of the shows that I was just like, there's so much going on right now. Like, what am I supposed to? What's the story? I don't understand what's happening. Like, these are the shows where if you like stopped watching for a little while, you'd be so lost. Whereas Superman and Lois, and unfortunately, I think it has to do with the fact that it had such a small run. So we've stopped the show at 4 seasons, right? So that's a bummer. But I was never lost. I always knew what was going on. The story was always distinct, straightforward, and never really convoluted or anything. So I really, really, really loved this show. What did you think of Superman and Lois? What do you think of Tyler Hoechlin as Superman, Bitsy Tulloch as Lois? Tell me a little bit. Comment down below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Love to hear your thoughts on the finale if you've watched. So obviously spoilers ahead. So if you haven't watched it yet and you don't want any spoilers, watch this later. But keep it running so that the YouTube sees that people are watching the video. Okay, so I was really happy with the Superman and Lois finale overall. It obviously starts with him sort of fighting Doomsday again, and because Doomsday had shown up, and it was just like, oh, Doomsday doesn't know who Lois is anymore. He's a different person. He's not the old Superman anymore. And it was so intense. There was like a lot of great moments. There were a couple of real homages to Zack Snyder I saw. Like, there was the Doomsday fist going right past Superman's face, like right all up in there. To me, that was a clear homage to the Justice League with obviously with was it the Flash who tried? Yeah, it would have been. It would have been the Flash who tried to punch him. Was it that? Wait a minute. No, idiot. I'm an idiot. It was the Snyder Cut, or yeah, it would have been the Snyder Cut with Steppenwolf trying to punch him. Idiot. Oh, I made that mistake on my live react. It's fine. I think that was the Snyder Cut. That didn't happen in the Justice League, did it? I can't remember. Couldn't have, because it was different. Anyway, okay, digressing. Going off the top of my head here, so it's going to be a bit chaotic. As one of my good friends would say, chaos. So we start there, and this show has done a lot of that, like a lot of tributes. Like in the very first episode of season 1, there was a couple of tributes to like Superman 3, Superman Returns, Man of Steel. So it's all there. There's a lot of like cinematic tributes, which I love. So essentially the first like 20 minutes of the show are Superman defeating Doomsday, where he basically he kills him, he brings him into the sun, he throws him into the sun, and that destroys him because he obviously every time Doomsday dies, he comes back stronger. Whereas Superman was like, nah, he's the opposite of me. If I take him into the sun, it'll destroy him. Okay, cool, done, fast. And he also fights Lex Luthor, who's in the John Henry Irons suit. So, he's fighting Lex Luthor. There's some tributes to the Injustice game as well. And eventually he just lands him this massive punch and it destroys the suit. Lex falls out of the suit. Superman gets him. Lex goes to prison. For life. No possibility of parole. He gets locked in there with Mannheim, who presumably going to make his life a living hell. So that's like the first 20 minutes. Now, I get it. They're wrapping up a really intense show in 4 seasons on the final episode. They couldn't spend a lot of time here. It just felt like it was really rushed, and we're just going to kill off these characters or send these characters to prison because we have to end the show. We have to end the show. And of course, that's what it was. Like, it couldn't be more prolonged than it was, but like the battles just seemed like they didn't have any stakes. I watched the fights and I was like, well, why didn't he just do this in the first place? Why did we have like a whole season dedicated to, oh man, it's not going to be possible to beat these characters, and then he beats them in 20 minutes. Again, I get it. We had to finish the show. But I don't know what I wanted. I know we can't prolong it. Maybe the finale could have been in 2 parts, and I hate 2-part stuff. Like, I hate that Wicked is in 2 parts. I hate that other stuff is in 2 parts. I can't think of anything right now. But, like, I don't know. It just felt rushed. But that being said, it was all very good. It all concluded nicely. So we reached the second half of the episode, and it's all about, the moving forward of the lives of the characters. Kyle and Lana get married. Idiot. Kyle and John Henry get married. Obviously... What? Kyle and John Henry get married? Oh my god. John Henry and Lana get married. I haven't had my coffee yet. Wow. John Henry and Lana get married. Whoa. Not that there'd be anything wrong with Kyle and John Henry getting married, but that's not actually what happened in the show. So, wow. I don't think I've had enough sleep today, in the morning. Anyway, okay, rambling. Here we go. This has been fun. So yeah, that happens. And it's all taken over by a voiceover by Clark, who's saying, after this. So this is all happening 1 year later, after the events of the first half. And then we hear Clark's narration. I had a good life. Basically, I had another 32 more years after this. And I was like, pardon me? So basically, we're listening to this narration, and Clark is saying that after the events of what we've just seen, he's got another 32 years, which is telling me, oh, okay, so Superman's going to die in 32 years? The guy's like 35 years old or whatever. I don't know, 40 or something. So it's going to tell me that Superman's going to die in his 70s? Okay, so, wow. But that was a bit of a shock. So, again, all my live reacts are in my members-only live stream. You can check that out. Starts at $2.99 a month. Really help me out to keep the channel going. I would love it. I'd really appreciate it. Even if you just want to subscribe for a month to watch that video, that'd be cool. But I was just like, oh, okay. So then he continues to talk about how the boys sort of start really becoming part of the team. You see Jonathan and Jordan get their costumes, which is kind of cool. And they're all flying as a family with John Henry and his daughter. Always forget her name. Can't remember. I'm not going to try. And then he goes into the further voiceover, and he's talking about how, everything was basically good, and we had hard times. Lois's cancer came back, and it's like we see the boys all grown up, and, he's talking about how Lois's cancer came back, and, like, I'm getting, like, emotional just thinking about it, because it's such intense moments where you see them both sort of at the end of their lives, where Clark is with Lois at the end, and she just says, "I love you, Clark," and he's just like, the My life, like the good things of my life have been because you have been here. And then she dies, and like you see Lois Lane die in her 70s, presumably, or 60s, however long she was. But it was just so sad. It was like, this is a crazy ending to this show, and I'm like, this is a crazy choice that's being made. Like, what is happening? This is nuts. Like, I will forever be thinking about that scene. Like, as the kids would say, it's my Roman Empire. And then we see Superman on his deathbed, Clark on his deathbed, and it's actually wild because he says, when he first died from Doomsday, it went black, but this time it was different, and it gets into a little bit of metaphysicality and spiritual, and you see Superman's soul leave his body, presumably his soul, and you just see him sort of seeing all the people that have been a part of his life, and presumably he's going to heaven. You see the kids as the kids again. They're not, I'm assuming they're not all dead. I think they're just memories, and he's seeing them in his own personal heaven. But then it cuts to him opening a door, or turning around, and you see Lois. And I don't know how I feel about this last part, like where you see Lois, she's in this kind of cocktail red dress thing with like a slit upper leg, and I was like, that's a choice. It didn't seem out of place. She looked great in it, obviously, but like, I didn't understand the choice of that costume. It felt really out of place. I don't know why, but it seemed very beauty pageanty, and I was like, oh, okay, sure. But it was a nice moment. Like, it was a beautiful moment. Like, they reunited, of course. But yeah, that's the Superman and Lois finale. It was just really good. Like, if you haven't watched it and you've watched this video and you've spoiled it for yourself, you might as well go watch it now. But I really enjoyed it. I really, really did. I think I'm going to go back and watch all the episodes again. Maybe I'll do a full recap on the show eventually, depending on how well this video does. But my Superman and Lois videos haven't done particularly well, so I'm not sure if I'll do that or not. But yeah, anyway, I wanted to come on and talk about the Superman and Lois finale. Those are my thoughts on it. Let me know what you think. Comment down below. Look, if you've enjoyed this channel, please like, comment, subscribe, hit that notifications bell, ding ding. Do consider becoming a member. Starts at $2.99 a month. Really help me keep the channel going, which really I would like to do, because this is fun. I like talking to all of you about the news of Superman, reviews, cosplay. But look, that's all I have to say about that. So follow me at Superfit Cosplay on Instagram. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you next time.